Welcome back to the TNT show. We're continuing our NFL offseason breakdown series. We're on episode 2, and we're going to hit our wheel spin to see who our division is for this episode. So while the wheel's spinning, Kyle, you got anything you want to say to the people?
I think I do want to lead with a question, kind of keep that trend going. This week's question is going to be out of the rookies that got selected and the big names so far. Who do you think is going to be rookie of the year? My take, I'm picking Jaden Daniels. He went to a great organization. I think they got tools around him. And I think he's really going to take over. He's going to solidify that he's the best rookie. It's hard not to pick Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams is definitely going to be the rookie. Come on, bro. He had look. You seen his offense?
Yeah, but I think
there's no way he's not going to put up numbers.
Because I was watching him throw in his rookie minicamp, and I really wasn't impressed. They said he had the same throwing motions as Mitch Trubisky, which we all know that he sucked.
They almost won a playoff game with Mitch Trubisky.
Everybody said they were taking his rookie year for real.
So, look, I'm telling you, bro, he's Caleb Williams rookie of the year. In discussion.
He's coming off of a really great season, so. But yeah, comment who y'all think is going to be rookie of the year. It can be anybody. So.
All right. So it looks like our wheel landed on the NFC East. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. We're going to kick it off with the Commanders. So obviously the biggest news with the Commanders was their draft. They drafted Jaden Daniels, QB of the future. He's pretty much their franchise guy and your favorite for rookie of the year. Other than that, in their draft class, I think two of the people that I really kind of keyed in on was, they said Mike Saints. Ooh, let me not butcher his name. Mike Saints. However you say it. Mike S. We'll call him Mike S. They said he was one of the best corners in the draft. So I'll keep an eye on him during his rookie season. And then we got Luke McCaffrey. Obviously, the family lineage. One of the McCaffreys. His brother's Christian, 49ers. Pro Bowl. Just went to the Super Bowl. Great running back. They said he'll be pretty good. And with they let Curtis Samuel go, so I think he'll get some reps at that wide receiver spot.
The person I'm most interested to see, I'm ready to see Ben Sinnott. He's like Swiss Army knife. He can. They said he can line up as fullback, tight end, receiver. He can pretty much do it all. So I'm really interested to see that, and I'm really interested to see what Jaden Daniels does. He just come off a Heisman winning season. So I'm interested to see if he can transition what he did at LSU, to the league. I think he's got to get a little bit bigger. He got to put on some size. But I think he will be just fine.
Yeah, I think, again, I draw more comparisons for him to like Lamar Jackson. And you look at Lamar Jackson when he came in, he was a little smaller, but he put on weight. I mean, he's 2 MVPs later. He don't have a Super Bowl ring, but I mean, 2 MVPs, you're well on your way. Like he's going to be Hall of Fame level one day. So if Jaden Daniels can follow kind of like the trend that Lamar Jackson did, I think he's definitely going to be in that conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they brought in Austin Eckler.
Yeah, yeah.
That's big time. He is on the older side.
He still has value.
They brought in Jeremy Chin. They built that offensive line. Yeah. They brought in Bobby Wagner. Brought in Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong. So their defense is going to be nasty.
Yeah, I mean, I saw with Dante Fowler and Dorrance, I mean, those are, you got guys who can rotate because their defense is already really good. But now you got guys who can kind of give your other guys a breather, and they're not having to play like a majority of the game, so their impact can be felt throughout the game. Other than that, I mean, they brought in Marcus Mariota, which I think mentor wise, that'll be great for Jaden Daniels. I mean, he had a lot of success early on with the Titans.
For
Um,
sure. Yeah. I mean, they're kind of the same player. So if Jaden Daniel gets hurt, they don't have to change their offense.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, you got anything else for the Commanders? I think that's all I got for the
That's
Commanders.
all I got. That's all I got for them. I think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be playoff contenders.
Yeah, I think playoffs are very realistic in that in this in Jaden Daniels' rookie season. Now again, the division is going to be a little. I think it's going to be a little tough. I mean, because you already got three other really good teams that are in the same division. Well, Giants are okay. Giants are all right. A couple of years ago, they made it to the playoffs with Brian Dable, but we'll get into that in just a second. Let's move into the Cowboys, which in Cowboys fashion, they pretty much were let down in the offseason. They didn't really do a lot, in my opinion. I mean, you let Tony Pollard walk. Tyron Smith is gone. Your center went to, went to Washington. Your defensive end also went to Washington, and your other defensive end went to Washington. So you kind of
Pretty
just
much
lost a lot of
everybody
your
they lost went to their rival. Went stayed in the division.
exactly, and they lost a lot offensive line wise, but the only thing they really did in the draft to address that was, draft some guys who they think are going to plug into that offensive line and kind of help shore that up. Other than that, they brought Zeke back, which I mean, that they should have just drafted a running back.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. It's like they were just on auto pick. They were just taking people.
Yeah, like Zeke's 29. I mean, he's older. He's already got his wear and tear. Y'all ran him into the ground basically in his years that he was there. So why not just draft a young guy? You can come in, you don't have to run him into the ground because you kind of have your offense set more to your receiver now, CD Lamb. So you're not gonna have to run your running back into the ground.
Agreed. Yeah, because I mean he can. He's just old and has a lot of miles. So I mean, yeah, they have some younger guys, obviously, but I think that was a big miss on them.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my list was short already, anyways, for the Cowboys. But yeah, they were off season wise very underwhelming. But the biggest news for them is going into this season is this make or break for Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott.
Yeah, this is
Personally,
going to be huge on Dak's part. You know, they got to be able to take that next step.
yeah. I think so. I think it's definitely make or break for both of them. Obviously, Dak's going into a contract year. They didn't pick up his option, so I think if he plays well, I think that gets him at least a couple more years so they can kind of see, can we get over the hump. I think if he does anything less than a conference championship, they're going to let him go out the door. Mike McCarthy,
He's in the same boat.
see, I think so too, but at the same time, he's not the reason that Dak folded in the playoffs last year. So you can't really put that on him. He helped them. They were at what? They were what seed were they in the playoffs? Whatever seed they were, they got blew out basically by a first year starting quarterback in
Young
Jordan Love.
Green Bay Packer team.
So they look really bad. It's not a surprise for the Cowboys. They've done this before. Dak's rookie season, they were 13-3. They get to the playoffs and they fold.
Every year, it's the same. They're like a broken record.
Yeah, it's the same thing every year. So at some point, something's got to give. And personally, I think let Dak walk and give Mike McCarthy another year if they don't make it. Because I don't really think it's his fault that his players aren't producing in the playoffs.
I see this free agency is going to be. There's some big name quarterbacks, so they may shoot for somebody.
Yeah, like I said, if Dak doesn't play up to, you know, what they feel like that standard is,
If they're not playing Super Bowl football, he's done. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl, he's gone. At this
nah. See,
point,
I think
you're just wasting.
I
You're
think if
wasting
they
CD
can get
Lamb.
least if they can get at least to that conference championship, I think they'll give him another shot at it. And then after that, they'll probably move on. Conference championship gets him one more year. A Super Bowl appearance, I think at least two.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Um,
that's pretty much all I got on the Cowboys, other than, I mean, all the pressure's on Dak. I mean, he's probably gonna play aggressive at moments because this is make or break.
yeah, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that's all. That's pretty much all I have for the Cowboys too. Like I said, it was a short list for me, and I mean, like I said, they didn't really do anything noteworthy. So I guess we can just move on to the next team, which is before we get into it, this team was definitely my team. They're my favorite to win the NFC. Uh
You talking about the Giants?
oh, absolutely not. What? The Eagles. I think up to this point, which obviously the offseason is pretty much already over, if you think about it. They had the best offseason in my opinion, or one of the best off seasons.
Yes.
They brought in Saquon Barkley. They brought in Devin White. They
Brought in
brought in
C.J. Gardner Johnson
yep, there we go. Took the words right out of my mouth. Now, obviously,
and and Bryce Huff.
they
So
lost some big time people too, but I felt like who they brought in and who they already kind of had rotational wise, I think that's going to help out with the people who left. Like
yeah,
Jason Kelsey, he retired, but you have what's his name?
Landon
See his name.
Dickerson.
There we go. Landon Dickerson plays center at Alabama. Slot him in right there, and hey, he might not be Jason Kelsey, but he'll more likely get you where you need to go. Fletcher
Yeah,
Cox, all time great. Hate to see him go, but it's time for the next man up. Draft wise, again, I'll say it again. They got the two best corners in the draft in later round, which is crazy. They got two. They got the best two corners in the draft, and they both don't even have to, I guess, play right away. Because if you think about it, they still have two high level corners that are playing right now for them. So they're going to be great rotational guys. I think one of them. I think between the two of them, either one, whoever plays, they're gonna play some high level football.
yeah,
Um,
and they get to learn behind Darius Slay and who's the other guy?
see, that's
Gotta put you on the spot.
you did. uh, Let me go check that out because I don't really keep up with Philly like that. So bear with me. Give me a moment.
Let's see. But yeah, back to while you're doing that, they brought in Saquon, so if he can stay healthy, him and Jalen Hurts, that's just gonna be
Oh, that's
that's
gonna be
penny
nasty. That's gonna be nasty.
That's if he can stay healthy, which Eagles have one of the best O lines in football. So I think that at that with that being said, I think he'll be fine.
Well, no, I think whoever the starting corner aside from Darius Slay, he might be, unless I'm just not familiar with the guy's name.
James
I don't
James
think he.
James James Bradbury.
Oh, Bradbury. There we go. Okay, got you.
So those are going to be
Yeah,
two really
that's
good
that's
guys
two
to learn
guys.
from.
That's two good guys I'm learning from right there. Um, yeah, no, that's my favorites to win the NFC. I know they had a underwhelming end to the season last season. They started out hot. They finished 1-6.
I don't know what
It
happened.
just I don't know. I really don't know what happened in Philly. It just I don't know. Hopefully they right that. I mean, again, they brought in Saquon. I think that's gonna be big time for them. Um,
Yeah,
and
and they
that's not
improved
even
on the defensive side of the ball too. So I think some people got hurt.
yeah. And see, that's not even speaking down on DeAndre Swift because he actually had a very decent season for them. So I mean, think about
Yeah,
it. You bringing
just
in
imagine
Saquon
what
Barkley,
Saquon's fixing to do.
right? And especially if he's like you said, if he stays healthy, that's the biggest thing. He has to stay healthy, or he's going to end up in that conversation of what his career would have been like if he was actually healthy 100%
Yeah,
of the time.
for sure.
Um, You got anything else on the Eagles? I think that's all I got for the Eagles.
I think that's all I got. I mean, they did bring in Kenny Pickett, so if Jalen gets hurt,
Quarterback insurance, basically.
yeah, insurance on him that he can step in. I mean, he started at Pittsburgh, so I don't know why he couldn't. He could probably lose
Ah,
some games.
uh, I'm not gonna get into that, but maybe who knows? I don't because he looked like trash in Philly, not Philly, Pittsburgh. So maybe different environment, fresh start could be different. He could if Jalen Hurts, hopefully he doesn't. If he gets injured, Kenny Pickett can come in like you said, win him some games, put up some stats.
To wrap it up, we got the New York Giants. There's the biggest question mark of them all, Daniel Jones, and what they're gonna do with that. That's a big contract to eat. They just paid
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I think see, I
They're
think if
talking.
he's
They're talking. They're talking. Drew Locke's gonna fight with him for the starting quarterback. I think that's insane.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I personally think that uh Daniel Jones, when healthy, he's. I mean, they made it to the playoffs in Brian Daboll's first year, so they're capable of getting it done. But they just have to. They have to have the pieces to make that happen. Like they drafted Kadarius Toney, that didn't turn out well. You got Darius Slayton, which he's good, but he's not like wide receiver one.
Yeah, they
You
brought
go
in
and
Malik, so he's taking over that wide
Yeah, you
receiver
go and
one
get Malik Neighbors, a high level playmaker. I think he's gonna turn that offense up, way up.
because they loaded up on the defensive side of the ball,
Yeah,
and they
they
got
definitely
Brian
did.
Burns, they got Jalen Mills,
Yeah,
veteran.
yeah. And I mean, you lost Saquon, but you brought in Devin Singletary, which he's a serviceable running back.
They drafted Tyrone Tracy Jr. wherever he played.
Not gonna lie to you, don't even know the guy, but something we can look into though. Again, back to the quarterback thing. See, it came out that they wanted to trade up and
And
draft
get Drake May.
Drake May. But I guess they were one of those offers that Patriots said were pretty bad. So,
There just wasn't
got to
worth
roll
it.
with Daniel Jones. I personally think that they shouldn't. They got to stick with Daniel Jones. I mean, he hasn't given them. Y'all just gave him like $100 million. So obviously, y'all felt like he was doing something to warrant y'all giving him that contract. Stick with him, and if it don't work out, you can always go back to the drawing board, just blow the whole thing up, and start over. Yeah, Neighbors, I think he's probably going to be the cornerstone, more than likely the cornerstone of that offense. If Daniel Jones is healthy, I think that's a good connection. Darius Slayton, again, he'll be a good wide receiver too. Um, I don't know what the rest of their core looks like. I'm pretty sure Darren Waller, I don't think he's retiring. I'm guessing he's still on the fence. I don't know what he got going on. But if he's playing, that's another piece of that offense that's going to get you where you want to go.
He's just another one of those people that's just got to stay healthy.
Yeah. So I think the Giants they made some good moves. Nothing like over the top. I think they did more in their draft than they did free agency wise. So they're trying to like build, with younger talent.
Yeah, whether it be Daniel Jones or next year if they draft somebody. Because
And the big
by the
question mark
looks of it,
too is going to be their defense. They got a new coordinator. So what is their
yeah,
defense going to look like? Like you said, they brought in Brian Burns. Um, and I'm pretty sure what's his Kayvon Thibodeau. I know they still got
yeah,
him. Um, Other than that, I don't know too many names on the Giants defense, but maybe they're in the middle of the pack in the NFC. Who knows?
yeah. I mean, Daniel Jones is coming off an ACL tear, so we don't know what he's going to be like.
Yeah, we don't even know if he's going to play to start the season.
Yeah, they brought in Drew Lock, so I guess he's gonna. If he's not ready, he's gonna play.
Yeah, which I mean, like you said, they said that he could battle Daniel Jones for QB1. So if that happens, then
Yeah, so he comes in and lights out.
personally, if Drew Lock battles Daniel Jones for the number one quarterback spot, I think they need to fire that front office because if you have somebody come in and beat out your $100 million quarterback for his spot, why did y'all give him all that money?
Yeah.
Better
I mean,
yet,
he has the stats though.
why did y'all give him all that money if y'all were gonna wait however many years down the road to say, oh well, we want to move on? He only got hurt once. Well, no, I think he got hurt more than once, but this was his first like major injury, I think.
Yeah, I
So,
think so. This yeah magnitude, yeah.
so, um, I guess we can
But I say that pretty much wraps up the NFC East.
yeah, we can tap into the grades really quick. See how we want to grade everybody.
Well, I'm gonna give Philly an A. I'm gonna give Philly and Washington both A's. They got what they needed.
I ain't gonna
And
lie to you.
then
I'm giving Philly a A plus.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Philly gets an A plus for me. Um, Washington, like you, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. A because they addressed their needs. They got their quarterback. They added to their offense. Cowboys. If I could do any
I'm giving
letter
them an F.
that was lower than an F, I probably would because they just they do Cowboys things. That's what they did. They did Cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
And the Giants, I'll probably just give them
I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give them a. I'm gonna give them a B.
that's what I was
You
gonna
know,
say, a B. They get a B.
but
Um
yeah,
so yeah, that wraps up the NFL portion of today's podcast. NFC East Breakdown. We'll come back at you next episode with our third portion of the series for the division breakdowns. I'm gonna just give y'all a little bit of updates on basketball. So the playoffs right now, NBA wise, in the East, we got the Celtics and the Cavs series is tied 1-1. It's a nice little back and forth. Boston beat the brakes off of the Cavaliers in the first game. Um, and the Cavs repaid the favor in game two. Cavs were pretty much eating Boston alive. They were hitting all their shots. Donovan Mitchell was doing what he does, and the Celtics just could not hit from deep, which with the offense that they run, if they're not hitting their shots and they're not stopping the other team on defense, it can get ugly pretty quick. The Pacers and the Knicks lead the series 2-1. There's been a lot of controversy, or so it seems, with the Pacers and the Knicks in their series. They said the Pacers submitted 78 calls for game two because they felt like the refs really controlled that game. They squeaked out a win. I think it was last night. They squeaked out a win. Um, so super interesting series. Thunder and Mavericks, they just tied their series up, and then we got the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. The Nuggets, they found they found their offense last night because they smacked the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards came out and said you know he took accountability for that loss, which I don't think it was really on him personally.
I'd weigh in, but I don't know.
Uh, I think it's as far as the series go. I think if Boston can find their defensive intensity and make their adjustments, they can go ahead and finish this series up in, I'm gonna say 6 because I think the Cavs got another win in them. Pacers and Knicks, I think that's gonna go game 7. It's gonna be just like last series where both teams are pretty good at home. Thunder and Mavericks, this one probably I think this one could definitely go 7 games too. Thunder is a nice, really good young team, but the Mavericks, they got Luka and Kyrie, and they finally got a lot of guys around them who can complement what they do. And the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. I think the Timberwolves are going to clean this one up, and they'll probably finish this series in 6 too. But that's it for the update on the NBA playoffs. Again, We got more coming. So y'all stay tuned. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll catch y'all on the next episode. We are out of here.